Okay, welcome everybody. This is Premier Chess Adult Intermediate, week 13, fall 2020 class. And the topic is question mark. We're going to find out. So, in this position, so let's evaluate. I'll tell you, should I tell you who they are? Is that going to affect who do you think is going to win? If I tell you the people in the game? Maybe.
Just follow me.
Maybe
No,
not.
I won't know. I won't know.
Don't tell you.
No, that's fine. Go ahead and tell.
Oh, so this is a game between white is LeBron. I assume not LeBron James. And black is Yasser Sirwan, 1982 Lucerne Olympiad. So yeah. All right. So in this position, it's black to move. And so first of all, let's evaluate the position. So what do you think? How would you evaluate this? Who's winning? Is it equal material? Positionally, what do you think?
White's a little ahead. All of White's pieces are out. Black's bishop is undeveloped. Black's A rook is useless, and White controls the center.
Yeah, White definitely controls the center. Very nice central control. These bishops have nice scope. Black bishop doesn't necessarily have nice scope on G7. Black bishop on C8, undeveloped, although it's probably heading to B5, B7. Going to have some nice pressure on the center. All right, so now, what do you think is the best move for black in this position?
So I've seen positions like these a lot, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the general plan is you have sort of two things you can do. One is Queen D2 and send your bishop.
No. It's black to move.
Oh, it's black to move.
Black to move. Yeah.
Well, either way, maybe saying what White's usual plan is helps with what black should do.
Okay. What do you think?
Usually, I understand White wants to march the pawn to H5 after removing the knight defender.
Oh, you mean okay? So you're saying castle queenside, right?
To send the bishop to H6 and attack the fianchettoed bishop and castle queenside. Yeah.
All right, that's one idea.
That seems to be White's usual plan. So.
All right. Anybody else? Any other ideas? What do you think is a interesting plan here?
For white or black?
For well, okay. So Matt just gave for white. Yeah. So what about black now? What do you all think about black? What's black's plan?
So for black, I would probably just play like bishop b7, and if white happens to castle kingside, then I'd probably start with something like e5 and then try to prepare f5 later on.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Yeah. E5 and then f5. Okay. Good.
I've seen a lot at c5. Try to attack the center from the flank.
C5. Yeah. C5 is another one. Yeah. So white definitely has control over the center. So a good plan is definitely to strike at your opponent's central control. So for that reason, C5 was the move that black played. C5 or E5, they're both pretty good for that reason. So what do you think is a good move for white here in this?
By the way, I think C5 is a little better because if F5, well, either if you C5 or F5 and white pushes D5, then
F5. What do you mean?
Whichever one you do, suppose white pushes D5 in response.
Okay.
Then E6 is a little more practical response than C6. So it's in this position, E6 looks better than if the pawns were flipped and instead you played C6 because then comes with tempo on the knight.
Right. Yeah, because this pawn would not be protected, right? Okay. So good reasoning. So so what do you think for white? What should be the response here after C5?
EC3.
Yeah, so yes, you can go D5, and that cedes E5, and he probably wouldn't want to do that, and also increases the scope of the G7 bishop. And yeah, I like the idea of maintaining, backing up this pawn with the C pawn, and replacing it if he wants to trade. And yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's what he does. C3. Now, what do you think? Black, a good move for black. What do you think?
B4.
Bishop B7.
Bishop B7 is good. Yeah, that's a good general developing move. What else? B4, I heard.
Yeah.
So B4, yeah, that would gain space on the queen side. That's pretty good. I like that. Anything else? What else do you say?
What about D5?
D5 here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I think that loses a pawn. I mean, this pawn becomes loose, weak. He can push up here. Yeah, it loses a pawn. Actually, no. This pawn becomes weak if he takes, right? So maybe not. I don't know. Where would you move the knight? Back here? E8? Yeah, probably the best thing. E8. And now what would you do here?
I'd probably push E6.
Yeah, just to ruin the pawn structure. Okay.
Yeah.
And now what would you do? Would you take this pawn?
You never want to take that pawn as white. You're just ceding central control, and that pawn is very hard to defend.
Right. Yeah,
I would
also,
have thought push H4, H5 instead of trade the pawns.
Oh, H4. Okay. Oh, so you say move up here.
Instead of trading on
Yeah.
E6.
Okay. Probably black's best would be to push here. White comes back and now push this one.
No, but before you trade it on E6, don't push E6. So back and move.
Oh, go
here.
back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
instead
so don't
of
push
instead
E6,
of E6.
H4 here.
Oh, H4 instead. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean E6. So E6. It does ruin the pawn structure, but at the same time, you're opening up his rook. So it's hard to say if that's a good move or not. Is it worth sacrificing a pawn to ruin his pawn structure when he has an active rook now? So are you helping black in that way? Right. So
Like they're doubled, but they're hard to take. Maybe black, moves the knight to B6, and now the doubled pawns are defended and the file's open.
yeah, and if he pushes here, then he trades off one of them, and so he's doing good, right? Yeah. So okay. So D5. So what about? So we said E5. What about capturing? Would that be a good move? Yeah, I don't think it's a good move. Now it seems like white is completely giving up control over the center, right? So yeah, now black is becoming very comfortable. All right. So yeah. All right. So let's go back then. All right. So what else? So we have C5, C3. What else? So now black to move. So you guys said B4. You said D5. What else? Any other good moves here?
Bishop B7.
Yeah, Bishop B7. Yeah, it's a good developing move. Increases the scope. That's good. Yeah, Bishop B7, B4, D5. So another one. I don't know if any of you would think of this move, but E5 is another move also. Which is kind of forcing white to decide what does he want to do with this pawn. Does he want to keep it there still, push it forward? If he pushes it forward, then it closes down the center, right? So e5 is the move that he played, and yeah. So what does he do? Takes or pushes here. If he goes, yeah, because we began with white having nice central control, right? So if he pushes d5, he's basically closing down the center and any possible counterplay. And now it looks like black's queenside pawns are becoming more active and menacing, and also black can easily bring the knight back and push f5 and now have some nice activity in the flanks. So yeah. So for that reason, he took on e5, takes, okay. And now, what do you think? Good move for actually. Oh yeah. Okay. So basic move. He just hurries and castles the king. Okay. So now for black, what do you think is a good move here for black? How do we continue?
Bishop e7, increase pressure on e4.
Bishop b7. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
c4 also looks inviting.
C4 for black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so let's look at bishop b7. Okay, so that's putting pressure on here. Probably the best. I would say a good move for white. What do you think? Good move for white in response to bishop b7. What do you guys think?
Rook e1.
No, I would say b3 because I don't want to allow c4. I wouldn't want to allow c4. Definitely not. Make that difficult. You don't want to give your opponent more space than you have to, right? So
I don't understand that. If black plays c4, sorry, and you haven't played b3, why can't you just back the bishop up to c2 and then play b3?
You could. It's possible. Yeah, you could. But it's just that this formation is very nice, and also it creates a little outpost here. So yeah, this formation. I mean, you wouldn't want to allow black this much space, but yeah, black is getting very, very active on the queen side right now. So okay, so c4 is the move he played. Bishop c2, bishop b7, nice developing move. Queen d2, rook e8, developing. Rook a d1, right? Strengthening control over the open file. Queen e7. Okay, so why queen e7?
To bring a rook there.
Okay, so vacating the d8 square for the rook, that's one reason. What's another reason?
If knight takes e5, then you have like 3 points of attack on d7, and so like you're going to lose that queen then.
If knight takes where?
Yeah, if the knight on f3 took
e5.
the e5 pawn, then you have the knight, the queen, and the rook all bearing down on the d7 knight, where you're challenging the queen.
Right. Okay, good. Yeah, so basically removing the queen from the pin, right? Yeah. Okay, good. What else? What's another reason?
Was it really pinned though?
Yeah, it wasn't really that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you just move knight f8 and
it wasn't.
you're out of it.
Yeah, it wasn't complete. Yeah, it wasn't really pinned, but yeah, but just getting it off of all this pressure, basically. So what's another reason? Why did he do queen e7?
Supports knight c5.
Yeah, he definitely wants to activate this knight. Knight c5 is a really nice move. Is eyeing d3, and it's also attacking 3 times on e4. So very nice move. And black would love to trade away this good bishop for his knight. He would love that. So yeah, queen e7, very nice move. Bishop h6. Okay, bishop h6, knight c5. Okay, bishop takes, king takes, queen e3, h6, And now they just double, rook a d8, fd1, trade some rooks. Okay. All right. So what do you think, all right, for here, what do you think good move for black is? What do you think? What do you guys think? Good move for black.
Rook d8, challenge the open file.
Okay, what do y'all think? Rook d8, good move?
Sorry, hangs the knight.
Yeah, hangs the knight. Right. Nope, not yet. Yeah, right now white has complete control over the D file. And that must be tough. So what do you think? What can black do about that? Or just good move for black?
What about, so I'm thinking basically of a couple of moves. So there's like knight e6 to f4 and knight and then knight d7 to c5. Basically trying to go for the d3 square.
D3. Okay. Yeah, very, very good. In this position, you have to think about, where are some holes that can place the knight, right? So D3 is one, although it's adequately guarded right now, so that's not a possibility. So yeah, we need to reroute this knight. So knight E6 right now wouldn't work. Why?
You hang the e5 pawn.
Yeah, cutting off connection to protecting the E5 pawn. Yeah. So given that reason, black does want to play knight E6, but what should he do
So knight
first?
Play knight
d7
d7.
first.
Oh wait, which knight?
Knight
F5.
f to d7.
Knight F to D7. Okay. Let's see here. All right, that's a possibility. Let's see.
By the way, we said the initial position looked very strong for white, but it looks very balanced now.
Yeah, now it looks like black has a nicer. Black came emerged, in this middle game. Nice, nice space on the queen side, and although white does have control over the file though, but yeah. All right, so knight F D7 to protect the pawn, and then followed by knight E6. Okay. Okay, that's one possibility. Anything else? So how do we facilitate this E6 to F5?
There's queen c7.
Yeah, queen C7 is the other pretty good possibility, and that's a nicer possibility because the knight coming back here the knight's pretty passive, right? Very passive. At least over here on f6, it's exerting some pressure on the pawn on e4. So you don't want to put your pieces in a too much of a passive position. So yeah, queen c7, much nicer. Yeah, protecting the knight, still controlling here, preparing knight e6, right?
Plus, don't you win the e4 pawn after queen c6? I mean, how can white add another defender? Rook e2, I guess.
Wait, say it again?
Ignore me. White can play rook e2, adding another defender.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, you're saying to win. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the next we have, okay, so now white to move. What do you think the best move is here for white now?
Keep pushing the H pawn.
Okay, so h4 doesn't really work. Black can just close that off, and now black has a nice spot for his knight as well. Gain more space and start attacking. So what else?
Kind of interesting line. Looks like knight h4 to knight f5. Sacking the knight.
Yeah, very nice. So knight h4, with the goal of coming here and eventually,
you sack the knight, you replace it with the other one, and your queen's coming to h6, and it looks like a pretty strong attack.
Yeah, definitely is a strong attack. Yeah, knight h4, yeah, was the move he played, and yeah, knight to f5 is definitely a real threat here. So, so given that reason, he moved his king to h7. Okay. So
Well, I thought
now
bishop c8.
say again.
Why not bishop c8?
Bishop c8. Let's see.
Yeah, because moving the king looks a lot scarier. There's no pieces really on the side of the board.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that works too. I mean, again, puts the bishop a little bit passive position. I guess maybe he just wants to keep his bishop there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just asks white, like, how are you going to break?
Right. Yeah.
Well, maybe this doesn't work. I think white just does it anyway and wins a pawn, right?
Take. How does he win a pawn?
Now you take the pawn.
Now what?
Did I hallucinate a pawn? I don't know.
Yeah, you sacrifice a piece for a pawn.
I guess maybe you take with pawn first.
Oh, take with pawn first? Let's see.
Instead of 9, yeah, take with pawn here.
Okay. It's kind of hard to break through here.
It is hard to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty hard. So all right. Let's go back. Okay, so knight. Okay, so knight h4, king h7. Okay, so now white drops the knight back again. Now black finally continues with his plan.
So just a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So after king h7, let's say if white continued with knight f5, would black just play g5?
If knight f5, g5, yeah, that's possible. I mean, this is very nice for white. Look at this beautiful knight here. I definitely prefer this for white. Yeah, possible. Yeah, let's see if he went. Let's see. Would it be advantageous for black to accept this? Let's see. I mean, he could just protect here, right?
Yeah, but like queen g3 maybe.
Queen g3. You have f3. How does he break through, right? And now this pawn's hanging, so maybe you protect this one. All right, he's doing pretty good. Black's doing pretty good.
You have rook d6.
Okay, rook d6. Actually, all right. So, well, here's black's move. And so maybe black.
Sorry, I meant instead of f3.
Oh, instead of f3. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rook d6. I would probably take here. Right, forcing the trade of minor pieces. And
Maybe
now
taking with a bishop first was better.
you think so?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to capture back, right?
Right. Okay, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So even if he defends here, you still have the fork, right? Actually, no. Forget about the fork. If the knight moves, the rook is lost. Like the knight can't even move. All right. So rook d6, bishop takes. Yeah. It's pretty nice. And if the bishop moves, the knight hangs. All right. Pretty nice position here. Okay. So yeah, this is nice for black. So for that reason, probably better here would be f3, right? Solidifying e4, and now it'd probably be let's say what would you do here? Maybe bring the queen, something like that, right?
That loses to fork.
Oh, the fork there. Oh, right. Okay, good. So maybe, yeah, I think the best thing here would be then to just reroute the knight, because this knight needs to be improved. So yeah, all the action is happening over here. So yeah, it's an interesting sacrifice. I don't know if it works, because if black regroups his pieces, then the attack is kind of fizzled out here, right? Because there's really no way for this bishop to enter the attack, right? It's completely blocked by his pawns. So yeah, I don't know if it's justified to sacrifice a knight on f5. Yeah. All right. So let's go back. So knight f3, knight e6. Black continues with his plan. All right, and we have ha4. All right, trying to get rid of these pawns. King g7. Rook d1. Queen c5. Trying to trade down a little bit and trying to attack the e pawn. Takes. Rook. All right, so now the rook is able to invade a little bit. All right, so what do you think best move here for black? What do you think?
Take the pawn.
So yeah, the pawn is definitely hanging. So the question is it worth taking, right? So let's go through it. Knight takes. All right. And now how would you proceed as white? What do you think?
D5. Rook
Okay,
D5.
yeah, rook d5 or rook b6. Either one wins the pawn. So yeah, so rook d5 or say rook b6. The other rook comes here, and basically it's kind of pretty equal. I mean, yeah, 4 pawns to 4 pawns. It's pretty equal.
White don't have connected passers.
That's true. Yeah, maybe better even than taking on f2 would be to protect this, and now f2. How do you defend f2? There's really no way, right? Yeah, so yeah, pretty pretty equal here. Yeah. So yeah, all right, so let's go back. Okay, so winning the pawn doesn't necessarily do much, kind of ends up to equality, it seems. So what do you think another move for black here in this position?
So what was the value of white playing rook to d6? What is he doing with that rook?
So let's see.
I mean, I get the idea that you're invading space, but it's
Right.
without purpose.
Right. He's trying to get in there somehow. I guess he wants to go to B6, right? And try to win the B5 pawn. I'm thinking that's probably the most immediate plan. Yeah. So given that white wants to go to B6, what do you think would be a good move for black?
You could play the F rank knight to D7.
Yeah. So
No, yeah, you can do that.
okay, so you can do the F knight. Yeah, either one basically. And now you blocked off here, and now the rook basically has nowhere to go. So you might as well retreat, right? So yeah, in the game, black played the C knight though, knight C to D7, and king F1. Get control of the open file. Rook D1. So now what would you do here as black?
Rook A2.
Yeah, rook A2.
Just be annoying, right?
Yeah.
Rook A2.
Start attacking. Rook A2. Rook B1.
B4 looks a little. Oh no, ignore me. That hangs the bishop. This is why I lose my
B4.
blitz
Oh, yeah.
games.
Yeah, rook B4. Yeah, no good. All right. So let's see. Is there any way? Maybe here. What if he did here? Yeah, here it would probably work. Yeah.
Still play Rook A2.
Yeah, still rook A2. Then you got here.
Now I can take with the pawn.
Yeah, but you can take back.
Bishops.
Defended.
Actually, it ends up hanging. Oh no, it doesn't hang because this knight hangs. So let's see. So if you take, I mean, yeah, it's still pretty equal, right?
Yeah.
Black can't really make progress. You can attack.
Oh, knight C5. Yeah.
Attack here. You can just drop back. Yeah, pretty equal. Might end up being a draw. So. All right. So yeah, that might be a good move because you definitely want to get rid of these advanced pawns. You don't want that to be in your camp as much as possible. So yeah, B3, I think that'd be a good move in this position. All right. So yeah, rook A2, rook B1. And what would you say a good move for black here?
Now you can go back to knight C5.
Yeah, knight C5 is nice. Yeah. So now you're putting a lot of pressure on E4. Yeah.
Don't you drop the pawn if you do that? The E5 pawn?
That's true. Yeah, it would be a trade of pawns, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like this position is pretty equal. If either side doesn't make a horrible blunder, most likely to lead to a draw. So yeah. So here's where the game finished. I believe it ended in a draw. That maybe the players agreed. But what do you think here? How would you try to gain an advantage, or is there a way to gain an advantage?
You want to force the knights out, right? So maybe start pushing the G and H pawns.
Okay, so which one first?
White's turn now, right?
Yeah, white's turn. Yeah. So black just played knight C5. So now
Also gain an advantage for white here.
Say again.
You said to gain an advantage for white or for black?
Or yeah. How do you gain an advantage for either side? So here white's move. What do you think? Good move for white.
Knight D2.
Yeah, so you have a choice because he's piling up on your E4 pawn. So your choice is: do you want to protect it, or do you want to just trade pawns? Right. So you could protect it, and then what would black's? What do you think would be a good black response here?
Maybe knight a4, and if bishop takes, take back with the pawn, and then push a3. I mean, that
Okay,
B pawn is
before I do
pinned.
knight a4, anybody see why that's not a good move?
A bit demoralizing response.
Actually, you know what? No, it's not. It's not. Okay, I'll take that back. It's not immediately a bad move, but if black takes with the pawn, it's a bad move. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, no. I'm wrong. That doesn't work. What I'm thinking. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. So
you're,
knight.
you're thinking it hangs at c4?
Yeah, it doesn't hang, right? We got this nice pin here. Because the king moved on f1, right? So yeah, okay. All right, so let's go back. All right, so knight a4. Okay. So what is yeah, probably his best response is to take the knight anyway, right? I would say. Take, and now maybe get the king off of the diagonal, right? So now what would you do?
A3 doesn't work now. You just take on c4.
Right. Yeah, a3 doesn't work, right? I mean, if you do take, he still can take this one. You know, and e4 would be a trade.
And then he'll take back on a3.
Yeah, so a3 take. Let's say take here. Okay, so in the end, it looks like no, it's still gonna be it's still gonna be drawish.
Yeah, just take the pawn.
Right? Yeah, so it's gonna be drawish in the end. Pretty drawish. Very drawish, yeah. Okay. All right, so what else? So that was if we went knight d2 protecting the pawn, right? What if we took the pawn? Is that any better? What do you think? What do you guys think?
Seems like the only reasonable move is to take the pawn
Yeah. I
with
think
the
so.
knight.
Yeah. Take. I guess take.
No, take with the bishop, then you're threatening the fork on d2.
Threatening.
Your last exchange should take with knight, right?
Take here?
Black should capture with the knight at the end of all the exchanges.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Take.
That wins the pawn. Or well, okay, I guess.
So you're threatening a fork here. So
Yeah.
I guess something like that. Yeah, this rook is pretty menacing. I mean, it's pretty annoying, right? The b1 rook is basically tied to defense of the pawn, which you do not want. And you know, this knight can try to reroute, try to attack here. And then yeah, so our king is pretty passive, and we can't go on to the second rank because you got this nice check here.
So if you take when you do the exchange with the pieces on e4, if the last piece you take with is the bishop, then are you then like you'll push the rook off of b1, right?
Yeah, that's true. But then he can move off and kind of win that. Yeah, we'll move with a gain of tempo there. And now what do you do? I mean, he could, I guess, block this way. Yeah, I guess the pawn does fall, right?
Or rook e2.
Yeah, rook e2, take.
Yeah,
yeah, it
you
looks
can't
like
exploit that pin.
no.
Knight f3.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's
that's no good. Yeah, so and he can always just get out of the pin with a check. So black is pretty safe here. So yeah. Yeah, and these are very open positions, right? This is getting to be pretty open. So yeah, I would say that you would not want to trade away your bishop. So maybe I wouldn't really take that, right? So probably here best move would probably be something like that. You know? And then maybe reroute this to D4 and put pressure on B5. Something like that. All right.
Or knight C5 as black. Sorry.
Oh. So wait, hold on.
Knight C5 attacking G2.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you can park yourself on one of the outposts.
Let's see here. Yeah. Trying to think. Is F3 or G3? What do you guys think?
I'd play G3.
G3?
I mean, just because I have a light square bishop, so.
Right. Okay. But still, even if black has has more space on the queen side, it's not easy to break through. I guess you would have to just walk his king. But with so many pieces on the board still, it's still not easy to break through. So yeah, position is pretty drawish. So is there any way you want to go back and see, is there any way that black could have been stronger? What do you think?
Can we explore one thing? I have like a weird idea. If you go back to where the black knight was on E4.
Black knight was on A4.
No, it's on E4.
On E4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So right here. I was just trying to play it. I'm not great at kind of doing the calculations a few moves ahead, but I was kind of looking at like if you push the pawn on B5 to B4, and then the black pawn. Sorry, so it's white's move, but select
white's
white.
Move, yeah. Yeah, because
after white moves.
Yeah, after white
moves.
moves.
The move we,
oh, sorry, he goes king E1.
Yeah. So then push the black pawn from B5 to B4, and if he takes, then you push the and then
so
take
sacrifice
to
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's see here.
Bishop B3? No. No, then you take the pawn with your rook.
Yeah, no good. Yeah, all right, let's see here. All right, so take All right, that is interesting.
Maybe knight D3, and if the bishop attacks at knight C1.
If the bishop attacks,
no, again, you can just take.
Oh no, actually, I think that's. Oh no.
You just rook takes on B2.
So if rook takes, we have bishop here. That's very nice. Yeah, the knight's hanging. So, okay, so if knight C1, what's the other alternative? He takes here. You could even still take here, and yeah, everything's pretty much covered here.
Yeah, you'll win the pawn back at least.
Yeah.
You take on C1, put your rook on B2, and you'll win the B pawn.
All right, so if takes here,
queen, rook takes, rook B2.
Yeah.
I said rook B2.
Oh, rook B2. Well, no. This is even stronger. You win the bishop.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So after all that, then white emerges a pawn up. So basically, the pawn sacrifice was not sound. Right. So, good idea, but not sound enough.
Wait, it was black's pawn sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The black pawn sacrifice was not sound. Yeah.
What do you mean? Black is up a piece at the end.
Oh, wait. Really? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back. Let's see. Here. Ah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, I missed that. Okay, black is up a piece. Okay. Yeah.
So if white doesn't take the gambit pawn, what happens?
Let's see if white... Yeah, if he doesn't... Actually, this pawn is also hanging here. Right.
And now you take on. Yeah, I don't think you can do anything fast enough, right? You just take the hang. If you take on c3, then white takes the knight, and now what are you gonna do?
No,
What if you take with the knight?
No, I don't think taking with the knight is a good. Taking the knight is a good because now the rook is under attack.
What if you take the c3 pawn with the knight though? If he captures back, then you pick up the bishop.
All right, so take with the knight. Okay.
Pretty even. You don't even get the pawn back because your bishop's under attack. Well, you can take on g2 here.
You can take on what?
You can take on
oh,
C3.
G2, right. so still equality. Oh no, actually, in the end, you got this.
What if you take the c3 pawn first?
All right, so
I mean, you can get out of that. You can get out of that with rook c1, rook g2, rook c1, rook g1. At the end.
Rook c1, rook g1. Okay.
Yeah. At the end of that whole thing, you could have checked and then defended the bishop. Basically.
Oh, with the knight fork. Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. So here, you said here. So yeah, is this here? Take. Yeah. So what's white's best move here?
What about bishop b3?
Bishop b3.
He'll take the R rook. We take his rook. His knight's still under attack. It doesn't
his
seem
knight's
to have
trapped,
a good.
actually.
And our G2 pawn is still hanging.
Yeah, but
No,
the
knight's gone.
And the knight's and the knight's pinned. Sorry, trapped. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So. All right. So I guess take with the knight is no good. Right.
Well, it's not really though, because if you go through those exchanges. So bishop takes on g2 at the end. Sorry, in the position we were just in.
Okay,
after.
so knight takes.
And knight takes
I think
c3, right?
Where were we here?
It was knight takes c3.
It was knight takes c3.
Knight takes.
Bishop b3.
Bishop b3.
Knight takes b1.
Knight takes.
Yeah, knight's lost.
Bishop
right?
bishop e4.
Bishop e4. Okay.
You can't really stop. Well, I guess you just walk your king over.
Yeah.
Or bishop d3.
You can't really walk your king over, right? Well, although this white king is closer, this white king is much closer than the black king, so this pawn is probably going to fall. All right, and then it's going to be an easy win with the outside pass pawn.
What about b3 maybe though?
So
bishop c2, white does something.
So
maybe white plays b3.
You want white?
But then the knight escapes.
Yeah, the knight escapes. Yeah, and you also block in your own bishop.
But if white doesn't play b3, then black can play b3 the next turn.
Right. So yeah. Yeah, it looks like this game ends up to be very equal, and it's hard to gain a winning advantage. Although they say Magnus Carlsen is the best at what do they say, squeezing water from stone.
I'm still very surprised that white did not attack with the pawns up the H file earlier.
Oh, you wanted to do that?
Like way earlier. I mean,
right.
It just seemed like a.
So you think,
well, all the pieces were on the queen side. Why don't you break open the king?
So, even before he castled, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were multiple points. There was the point where we were discussing the knight sack, where it seemed like you could start marching pawns. I don't know.
All right, so let's say he instead of taking, he closed down the queen side, right? Now what do you do? Maybe he goes here, back.
So at this point, I would start preparing f5.
For black. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
black.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then what does black do here? Something like this, maybe?
Yeah, and then maybe like knight e8 to play f5.
Mm-hmm. Maybe queen up here. Let's say knight e8. So you want to castle this way, right? It's not letting me, but okay, castle this way. And then push the pawn up. So let's say you push the pawn up now. I mean, he could try. Either he
I'm not
tries
sure I
to,
like it so much in this position. I liked it after the center had been opened,
yeah.
because black had like moved the queen onto the queen side, and
Uh-huh.
white had all the pieces lined up on the king side.
Right. Yeah. White definitely has a lot of power here with the two knights and the bishop and the queen. And if you can open up the H file, looks pretty good. But yeah, this is a very typical
Okay, maybe
closed
bishop
position.
h6 here.
Yeah, bishop h6 maybe. Let's see. Bishop. If you go to bishop h6.
And black. There's no way black takes. Black just.
Well, maybe he just closes it down.
Yeah.
and now how does your queen get in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you take the bishop, move
Now
the
you
knight,
force
push
there.
g3. It's pretty slow.
Back and now. Yeah. Now maybe it's best for. Now maybe it's best for white for black to try to start opening up here, because black has a gain of space on the king side, right? So yeah, cool. What do you guys think of this game? So Matt, you think that he should have gone for this king side attack, right?
Yeah, not at this point in the position, but I was suggesting later. The part where you were looking at knight h4.
Oh no, he played knight h4 after he castled already.
Yeah. So at that later point.
So after he castled to go for a king side attack, you mean?
So I think after queen c7 is where I'm thinking.
So
yeah,
here.
so like around here, instead of knight h4, maybe just h4.
Oh, just h4. Yeah, I still think h5 blocks it completely, pretty much. And now the knight has a nice outpost there.
Knight f5 here, and bring your queen to, like bring your queen to g5.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, if you take, you can easily win back the knight, right? So, and if you don't take,
then your knight is coming into g5 after it.
All right. Let's see. Is there any way?
I mean,
I think taking would be the best way, because otherwise you're going to get mated.
Yeah, I mean, if you push the queen takes on g5, like you can't stop the queen from coming to h6 or g5 here.
Yeah.
So you take queen g5, king moves, you take the knight back.
So.
And now knight's coming to g5, looking for like h7 or something.
Maybe he comes like
At e6.
Yeah, that.
No, I'd probably go knight e6.
Knight e6?
Yeah, knight e6 here.
Let's see. Oh, like to prevent knight g5?
That, and also taking on e4 just
actually here knight e6 allows this. All right.
You also have queen h6 picking up the h pawn.
Now you're threatening mate here. Right? So and you're also so knight e6 allows knight takes e5, and then now rook's threatening to come to d7, and the end will come quickly.
I would never play this in a tournament, but in my blitz game, I'd be like, yeah, this looks spicy. Let's try it.
Spicier the better. Cool. Yeah. I like exploring all these possibilities. So yeah. So that's LeBron James versus Yasser Sirwan. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. So is there any requests for the last week topics, or you just want me to pick out of a hat again? What do you think? Pick an interesting game. What do you think? Any preferences?
What was today's topic?
So today it was using the minor pieces, but also knowing when to attack in the flanks, and or deciding whether you should keep the center closed or not, right? But it's kind of disappointing whenever you play a game. You play one of these grandmaster games that ends up being a draw, right? It's very it's like anticlimactic. You're like, these guys are grandmasters. These guys must be playing brilliant stuff, but.
I don't know how other people feel about it, but is it worthwhile having a discussion over the strength or weakness of keeping the center open or closed?
The strength or weakness of keeping the center closed. If you want to, okay. All right. Yeah.
It's up to other people.
Yeah. I mean, knowing when to open the center, when to attack on the flanks, and things like that. All right, something like that.
Is this mate in 2?
No, well here it's blacks. It's
either black loses the queen or it's mate in 2, right?
Yeah. There's not much that that black can do. Even if he tries to protect against the mate over here, we have that, and he will lose his queen definitely.
I mean, instead of moving the knight, does rook e7 somehow hang on?
No, rook e7.
No, not here.
No,
instead of knight g7. Never mind.
Mate.
Queen h8 is
no,
mate.
knight g6 also.
No, mate. Mate is
no,
better.
knight g6, the king can run away, but this is mate.
Yeah. No, queen h8.
Yeah.
If knight g6, the king tries to run, but
it's still mate. It's still gonna be mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the mate. Yeah, still gonna be mate.
Knight blocks.
So whenever you're in doubt, you see a mate in 1, always remember Amon Hambleton's his maxim, which is a variation on Lasker's maxim, which is whenever you see a move, look for a better one, right? So whenever you see a mate in 1, always look for a better move. Okay. That's one of my favorites. So cool. All right.
I think maybe something that would be useful for me is maybe like common opening traps, because I'm trying to think about like the games I lose and why I lose them, and a lot of them come just in the opening. Someone plays an opening I haven't seen, and I play moves that look natural but actually fall into a trap.
Well, that's a big topic. I think we did gambits already, right? We did a bunch of different gambits. Did we do openings? Like, I mean, that's really complex. So, we would probably have to focus on one particular kind of opening, if we're going to do that. But I mean, I think it would be excellent, to focus on this kind of stuff. Middle game, positional strategy, pawn play. Knowing where to attack on the board, knowing when to exchange a minor piece for a good piece for a bad piece, or that, because that kind of stuff, you can't really learn from a book, right? You gotta feel it out. You gotta, sense it in the position that you're given. So yeah, I think that's more beneficial. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm okay with something like this for next week.
Yeah, I think so. All right, cool. Just wondering, is anybody signed up for the next semester, the next the winter classes for Premier Chess? No, nobody. Okay, just curious, because I got a few in the other beginner class. They're already asking me about it. Are you going to teach again in the beginner class? So, yeah.
I kind of feel like I want to spend a little bit of time trying to learn and apply, and then kind of come back to it.
Okay, so time to play and have the concept sit in your brain and solidify, right? Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, we'll see you guys next week for the final week, week 14, and yeah, Hope you guys have a great week and a great night.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Bye.